Good evening. Hi, my name is Francine, and you can just call me a divine feminine. But I just want to share something with you in regards to the Most High and how He's so good to us, and we just really don't give Him the credit. I want to share with you something I created, and I pretty much wrote it. I'm really a writer when it comes to communication, but I'm working on the actual communication side. But we'll get to what I wrote down, and it's actually called Our Creator's Pot. So everyone given, you know, life here on the planet has been blessed with something to bring to our Creator's pot. Just like we have get-togethers, we have banquets, parties, family reunions, weddings, whatever. But if we think about it, when we go to those different events, we bring something. In weddings, what do we bring? There's two people joining as one in the symbol of love. We got the family reunions where everyone's bringing the new add-ons of the family and showing off, who's brand new. And also, if you think about parties, people bring food, drinks, different drinks, whatever. But we just still have fun and enjoy each other. But we bring in something to each other, though. But we never think about what we bring to the Creator's pot. So we do have something to bring to His pot. We need to start really uh, taking into consideration as to everything that He's done for us and how we can show our appreciation to the Most High. But let me just point out, He loves us so much that He wakes us up every day. We take that for granted. We got plenty to eat. We always got something to wear, not to mention the added luxuries. Um, Cell phones, microwaves, vacuum cleaners, all that stuff is these new modernized, trinkets that speed up everything. So, we've been blessed and we're actually spoiled. But I do want to just kind of ask a question. If you had a choice in replacing any of those luxuries or any luxury that you can think of with some of the things that we take for granted, what would you replace it with? Like the air that we breathe, or the sun that rises every day, the blowing of the wind, the winter seasons, so that we can appreciate the heat in the summer months, or even how the planet we live on stays on its axis. The great bodies of water that stays in place. Who's keeping that water there? It never overflows. I mean, in the situation of storms, we know, okay, disregard that piece, but basically who's holding those bodies of water in place and allowing it not to dry up, but the water is just still there. Those are some of the things we just take for granted, you know, just a few really. And so I most definitely want to express to the world and the planet, the universe, that I'm very appreciative. I'm grateful for what the Most High has done for me, and with the experiences, good and bad, in life that I was able to take part in to actually become a better me. So, our Creator's not looking for perfect people. He's not looking for the smartest, the slickest, the quickest, or any other is you can think of. Uh, We are broken people trying to fix things without the Creator. Of course, we say, I thank God for this and I thank Him for that. But do you really mean that? It's up to us to use our free will to choose more wisely. He didn't create us so that He could be a heavy burden to us. He told all of us, including you, whoever's listening, come, my son, come, my daughter. Don't try to fix nothing, but come as you are. So I had to go to Him the way I was, and I was broken. I was broken, you know. And so He'll tell you, I have enough healing for everybody. Don't think you've ever done something so wrong. Now, I don't know what you've done in your life, and it's not my business, but all I'm saying, I do have compassion for people that's hurting internally, that's using, that is using different things and different ways to stay busy, to cover up who they really are. And in reality, they hurting inside. And that's why hurt people. Because there's something going on internally, if you think about it. But I'm going to finish reading this that I wrote. Let's see. Okay, how about we just go ahead and speak about some of my issues that I had before. And so at one time, in my past, the Most High I could remember Him nudging my spirit, trying to get my attention, telling me to go one way and I was going the opposite. He was really trying to get my attention, but I was ignoring him and I just kept going my way. But after a while, those nudges got really noticeable. So, I would just hear a voice within that says, keep going, but stay on my path. You know, Stay on my path. Don't choose your own path. We always think our way is the right way. That's not necessarily the case. But going back to the path, he would at one time before I got off the path. This is previous to me getting off the path. He would tell me to keep going. I was doing a good job to keep going. But I kept noticing, I was like, wait a minute. It feels like I'm in the woods. It feels like I'm lost. Because things kept happening to me that didn't seem normal. Things kept happening that seemed that they were driving at my spirit. I felt the tugging and pulling, but the Father kept saying, keep going. So I kept going. But I would always wonder, what is happening? What's going on? Now, feeling like I was in the midst of the wilderness, which is called the world, I couldn't see my way out. Now, with my mother being a praying mother, I remembered that, and so I started to pray, and I didn't feel anything in it or really understand what I was doing, but then I still got that sweet whisper, keep going, just keep going, even though you don't understand, just keep going. So I kept going. Things would get a little harder. Still get that whisper, keep going. For years, I kept going and praying and going. But then I did wander off the path as I was, starting in the beginning. I fell off. I fell off the path. And I placed something on a high pedestal that I should never have done. And once I did that, I actually wandered off the road when I did that. When I placed something before the Most High, that would that that I almost began to worship in a sense, I guess. Damn, that's embarrassing to say, but I guess that's true. Anyway, and this is a part of healing. When you're honest with yourself, it is a part of going forward. So that's all it is. I really don't uh, care what people say that, their labels of it being weak or you look stupid or whatever. I don't care about that. That's their opinions. That's anybody's opinion. What I care about is going forward into being a voice for other people in situations where they can't see their way out. Because I couldn't see where I was going, but he kept telling me to keep going. But as I kept going, I noticed I started paying attention to something that threw me off, or I allowed it to throw me off because I wasn't balanced. And so, anyway, when I did that, I noticed I wasn't on that path. I didn't see that path anymore. But I thought I was okay. So I was just, living and doing my thing, and I guess call myself having fun, but actually I was uh, living a lie and lying to myself. Even now I had noticed that my talks with the creator had slowed and stopped. It's like I don't hear that voice no more. I don't hear that voice that say keep going. So I just kept going. I just kept going, but I was on the wrong path. I didn't realize I was on the path to self righteousness and self serving and selfishness. Um, wow. Yeah. Anyway, our Father tells us that He's a jealous God. Okay. Hmm. I ran straight into a spiritual ass whooping. So understand this. It can come to you as what you put in place of Him, or what you placed in high regards. That's that very thing that is going to be used to turn its back on you, to fail you, to let you know it's not um, stable. So when He knocked me down, the Most High, I got that whooping, that spiritual ass whooping. And He said, look, I told you I'm a jealous God. And if you're honoring something over me, I'm going to let you know especially if I love you. If you one of mine, if you belong to me, I'm going to chastise you. That's what he did. He whooped my ass. Now, I still felt like after he did that, I thought he was gone. I thought it was over for me because I felt like everything inside had died and I couldn't see. I really couldn't see a way out. And that's what's called going through the dark night of your soul. I was going through a process. But now this process was a process where I couldn't do nothing but go up from there because I had hit rock bottom. Now I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I was so hurt. I felt my whole spirit trying to leave my vessel. And I'm not playing with y'all. I was surrounded by spirits that was waiting for me to give up the ghost, waiting. But my angels and ancestors was right there waiting because they knew what I was trying to do. I was coming up out of that. I was coming up out of this shell. They said, this ain't your destiny, boo boo. Be still. You ain't going nowhere. They protected me from those evil spirits that was waiting to get dibs on my body, on my vessel. After that period, I was given a sort of a what you would call a heavenly nourishment from the ancestors and the angels, my assigned angels. At that period, they did nourish me, uh, which was is still unexplainable, but it gave me enough strength so I could see some kind of, uh, I guess, to kind of explain it. When I couldn't see, I was blind to everything. I couldn't even see shapes. So I started to see shapes and forms of things. I was able to walk and get up and eat and get myself together. But I did remember something during the nourishment period. I remembered when my father said, keep going when I was on the path. So I thought, let me go on and just do what my father told me, keep going, even though he didn't say keep going. So this time I did it without him telling me to do it. Mm-hmm. Little by little, I kept going, inch by inch, day by day. I just kept going. And I kept talking to him and I kept praying. And I believe that it touched his heart because our creator, it seemed like he was like, just because you remember what I said without me telling you, you know, I'm going to send you some additional help. And he did. Now, whether it be my ancestors or my angels, ascended masters, whomever, took me by my hand and led me back onto the path to finish out the race that we call life. They said, get back on the path because you still ain't done. You got some stuff to do. And now, all through my life, I kind of felt like I was going to do something great, but I never could see how to get there or when I was going to get there and what it would be. Now I have a great vision of what it could possibly be. But as he, sent assistance to lead me back on the path of righteousness, he told me, he said, you got something else to do. And in fact, you got something to bring to the pot. And so I said, what am I going to bring to the pot, Father? And he replied and said, look in the mirror. He said, you, bring you to the pot. Bring yourself. Come as you are. So when I got the full sense of what I said, then my self-worth, me knowing the value of who I was, me to value me to love me, all that started to blossom. Because he pretty much let me know that I'm unique. There's nobody else like me. I don't care how many copycats you got out there. I don't care how many times or how many women or men go out and get something I got to sound like me, to act like me, to try to be me. It's impossible. You can't doppelgang me because I'm only one and I'm unique. But anyway, that copycat story, that's a story all by itself. But I do want to just let you know you got something to take to the creator's pot. We all do. So don't wonder what you're going to take. Just take yourself and he'll do the rest. Never forget that you are a valuable ingredient to the creator's pot. And so that was just a reflection on what I had experienced, on how the Most High took care of me during this troubling time of 2019. Now, I don't want anybody to flatter themselves and think I'm speaking on this to try to get somebody to think about me or to look my way. Far from it. This is my process to heal me. And when you talk about it, when you release it by speaking and in a positive way, not in negative, because I don't wish nobody's downfall. But what I do wish for is my healing so I can continue going forward, because I already started that process. In fact, I tell you what, it's 10%, 15% of that's got to come out my system and I'm good. So I'm proud of myself, but at the same time, I give the Most High the props of giving me the strength, the knowledge, and wisdom with the assistance of my spiritual team at the same time. And with all of that put together, and me knowing who I am and knowing thyself and knowing that I am one with the Most High Creator, nothing is impossible because I can do the impossible. And that's what I'm about to do. So I said on Facebook, let's do it. That's what I mean. We're about to do the impossible. And I'm going to continue to move away and stay away from those that continue or try to, not continue. I'm going to just strike that off the notepad, that attempt to or try to hurt or manipulate me in any sort, any, form or fashion. You can keep that. I'm good. I wish everybody the best. And I wish everyone would actually go and take something to the creator's pot. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this and come back on with another video and continue to speak on free indeed. And that's what this channel is called, free indeed. You guys have a great the rest of your night. Take care. Hmm. Shucks. Anyone? Subscribers? Hmm. Hmm.